Hello everyone, welcome back. Let's start with the coding for our Space Wars. So once you have signed into Scratch, you go to our class name, click on My Stuff, and you will see that Miss Claire has already created all the Space Wars templates for you. Okay, so look for your name, look for the title, and click C inside to start your coding. Okay, I'm going to use my example to show you. Alright, so once you click C inside, you will see that Miss Claire has already given you all the sprites, player, enemy, bullets. I've also given you all the variables already. So player health, timer, enemy health all created. And you will see that for each of your sprite, Miss Claire started a bit of coding for you. Okay, so all you need to do is follow the step number and fill in the missing codes. Okay? So you can explore that on your own. Let's get started with the stage first. So I'm going to click my stage. Okay, this is the background. We are going to add music to the background and we're going to set our timer as well as our two health variables. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, for our stage, you will see that Miss Claire started 3 codes for you. Now the first code here, when green flag click forever next backdrop. Okay, what's going to happen here is if you go to your backdrop, you will see that Miss Claire has added 4 stars backdrop. Now what happens here is, do you see that the pictures look a bit different? The lighter part of the picture seems to change position. Okay, see now it's at this corner, the third costume is at this corner, fourth costume is over here. So we're going to do a little animation effect where your background is changing a bit. Okay, so to do this, we're going to go to code. We're going to introduce next backdrop and give a bit of waiting time, maybe about 0.5 seconds. Okay, finish. Now let's move on to our health variable. Today we're going to set our player and enemy health to 20 each. Okay, so I'm going to set 20 each. Finish. Now under this forever, I'm going to add the background music. So you will see that when you go to sounds, Miss Claire has already added a sound for you called techno. So let's hear this a bit. Alright, so it sounds a bit like this. We're going to use this as background music. So go back to your code. Inside this forever, we're going to add the sound block, play sound techno until done. So this will help us play the music throughout the whole game. So it should look like this. Alright, and there you see our backdrop being animated. Okay, now everyone, let's move on to the last code for backdrop timer. Today we're going to set a timer of 30 seconds for your game. Okay, so this means that we're going to do a countdown. So for 30 times, repeat 30 times, we are going to wait 1 second and then we're going to change the time by -1. So this is a countdown timer. Okay, alright. There we go. Okay, so if you test your code, you should see this. Okay, the timer will start to count down from 30 to 0. Alright? Okay, I'm going to pause here. So our stage is finished. Let's move on to the player. Okay, I'm going to click the player sprite. We're going to do the first code first for movement. We're going to make our player move. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom into the first code, which is step 2. Okay, our player right now is size 4, which is not what we want. It's too tiny. Let's make it bigger. We're going to set a size of 50 and we're going to make our player start from the bottom over here. Okay, so I'm going to fix my Y, which is the bottom, to -100. Okay, now once done, I'm going to control player to move right and left. So to do this, I'm going to add this code. If key right arrow press, go to motion. I'm going to move to the right, which is change X by 10. Okay, and then for the left, if key left arrow press, I'm going to change X by opposite direction, -10. So this will go to the left. Okay, let's test this out. I'm going to activate this code. And then you will see that when Miss Claire press left and right, I'm able to move my player. And it appears a lot bigger. Okay, so this is what we want. Step 2 is finish. Alright, now finish player movement. Let's move on to our enemy. click your enemy sprite, we're going to make the enemy automatic. It's going to move on its own. Okay, so this is the code. So step 3, we're going to set our enemy size to 30, make it a bit bigger, if not it's too tiny. Forever, it is going to glide to a random X position, means that it's going to glide randomly left and right, but we're going to fix the up and down position. Okay, so this is what we're going to fill in. We're going to make it glide 2 seconds to a random X position. Okay, from minus 240 to 240. We're going to fix up and down position to 100. This is your Y. Okay, so if you activate this code, your enemy should be like this. Okay, it should glide randomly across the screen, but it will be at the same place, just moving left and right. Alright? Awesome, enemy is finished. Now let's move on to the bullets. Okay, for our player bullet, click on player bullet. We're going to activate player bullet whenever we press the space key. Okay, so when you click your player bullet sprite, you will see that the first code has a key space press here. Okay, so let's do the coding for this code first. Alright, we're going to set a size for our bullet here to 15%. Original bullet is going to hide. And then forever, if we press the space key, we're going to clone the bullet. So go to the control group, take out this code. Create a clone of myself. We're going to play a little sound effect, pew. Okay, so just check whether you have the pew sound inside your sound. Okay, I think I should have added in that sound for you already. So you just need to add the coding. Once done, okay, we're going to add a little waiting block. So back to control, wait about 0.5 seconds before we can start to shoot again. Okay, so Miss Claire is going to activate this code to test. Okay, but I will do that after I finish the movement. Alright, so let's move on to the next step, step 4 again. Now for your bullet, when it starts as a clone, it's going to go to the player first, show itself, and forever it's going to move up to the enemy. Move up is change Y by 10. Okay, and then what happens is, if the bullet touches the edge of the game, which is the top over here, it should delete itself. Nothing should happen. It should just disappear. So we're going to pull out the delete the clone block. Okay, but if it touches the enemy, then what's going to happen is we're going to minus enemy health. So change enemy health by -1. And after that, we are going to delete the clone. Okay, so that your bullet disappears after its work is done. Okay, now everyone, this is the full code for your player bullet. Let's test it out. So when I press the space bar, I should be able to shoot. And take a look everyone, when I shoot the enemy, the health starts to drop. You see that? Alright, so this is good. This is finished. Okay, let's move on to the enemy bullet now. So everyone click your enemy bullet. Okay, enemy bullet is going to look the same as player bullet, but it is going to be automated. That means automatically coming out from the enemy. So let's learn how to do this. Okay, let's work on the first code on the left here. So enemy bullet also going to set size to 15%. Original bullet will hide. And then forever, we are going to make this automatic. So we're going to wait. Operator, random time. We're going to wait random 1 to 3 seconds. And then we're going to make the bullet clone itself. So create a clone of itself. And as it creates a clone of itself, it's going to play a sound effect. Zoom. Okay, so it should sound like this. Alright. Okay, now once done, let's look at the second part of the code. This is for the movement. So when the bullet clones start, they go to the enemy. They will show themselves. Forever, they need to move down. So for this, we're going to change Y by -10. This moves down. Okay? And if the bullet touches the edge of the game, which is the bottom over here, then we're going to make sure the bullet is deleted. So let's go to control, bring out the delete block for the clone. But if the bullet touches the player instead, it's going to first change the player health. Okay, remember this enemy bullet. So enemy bullet hit player must change player health by -1. Once the work is done, we need to delete the clone also. Okay, great. Now let's test this out. Press the green flag. And you'll see the enemy will start to shoot the bullet randomly on its own. It's automatic. Okay? Great. Now this is finished. Let's finally move on to the game over code. Okay? So we're going to jump back to our player sprite. Okay, do you see that our player has a second code here? This is all the conditions for game over. Okay, so we're going to work on the first one. The game is going to be over if the player health equals to 0. So Miss Claire is going to add a code here. For the first one, if my player health equals to 0, then I'm going to make my rocket player sprite say game over for 2 seconds, and then it is going to stop the game. Stop all. Okay, so this is if player health is 0. Alright, but we can also have game over if the enemy health reaches 0 as well. So we're going to add another condition. If enemy health equals to 0, then same, we are going to say, this time round we're going to say you win because we have finally destroyed the enemy. You win for 2 seconds, and then we're going to do a stop code also. Okay? Last one, game over can also happen if the timer reaches 0. So let's add a condition for that. So if timer equals to 0, then we're going to say game over. No, actually, we're going to change. Time's up. Okay, for 2 seconds, and then we will finally stop all. Okay, so everyone, this is the completed code. Let's test the entire game out. Okay, full screen. Let's do one quick test. Okay, so check, make sure your health variables drop when the bullet hits the player or the enemy. Your timer should automatically count down from 1 to 0. Okay, time's up. And the game should freeze. Okay, so everyone, once done, you can make the screen smaller. Okay, finish. Don't forget to save your work. So click on File, Save Now. Make sure you see the word project saved. Okay, once the project is saved, then you can sign out of our class account. Okay, once you have signed out, go back to eCampus, do your self-checklist. Alright, for those who have problems saving your work, please don't panic. Click on File, Save to Computer. After this, you will need to do the file upload to your eCampus page. Okay, so everyone have fun with this project. Enjoy the process. See you next time. Bye.